Oh God.
Got a pair of sneaks with doo-doo in them. Got a pair of sneaks with doo-doo in them. Doo-doo stripes in my pants.
Chappelle
Doo-doo
line,
stripes in
your
my...
face lands in some doo-doo. Splat. When he's talking about Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg. When he's talking about Snoop Dogg on Dave Chappelle, I'll tell you, he got one of the funniest impressions I've ever heard.
Man, that's his Snoop Dogg impression.
Yeah, I'm Snoop Dogg. It's me.
Everybody had their cuss, but they ain't chipped in. You know what I'm saying?
Murder was
happens
that
all
case,
the time.
That trial, that juror, murder was the case that they gave me. I tell you what,
look, I'm gonna tell you, you gotta get yours, but I gotta get mine.
Is Cam A straight?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Is Cam Newton straight? Our first topic. He wears those weird hats. Is he
and
straight?
you know what that means? A weird hat.
Question is sexuality.
Nothing. I like it's just the hat. It's not the rest of the fit.
No. Apparently, a lot of rappers are gay, though. Did you know this?
Really, I hadn't heard that.
You haven't heard rumblings and grumblings of this?
No.
They trying to massage my prostate. They trying to massage my prostate. Male clitoris. They trying to touch my pee-pee. Yeah.
No, but I mean like Drake and Jay-Z and all the the big ones might be gay.
Oh.
I heard it's a cabal of them. The gay agenda shit is still hilarious to me.
So silly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dangerous, but it's also
it's like trans people, Jews, something. There's like some thing going on. There's some Bermuda Triangle.
I want to circle back to this real quick, but
Jewish people, I should say. Let's stop calling them Jews if you're not Jewish.
Yeah, it sounds violent. Yeah,
Jews,
the blacks, the
Jews, those gays.
I've always liked the insert.
Like you're a cop in Harlem in the 70s.
Right. Somebody was telling me the other day that their dad referred to Chinese people as the Han.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds ancient.
That sounds it's the largest ethnic group
but it's just
China.
So it's another one of those. It just sounds like why are you calling
But to be
them that?
weird enough that you would not be satisfied with the Chinese.
Yeah.
And then go further.
It's so specific while also not covering everybody where I'm like, what are you doing? But I want to
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just disrespectful in two different directions, basically.
It's like if everybody called all Americans the whites, you know?
Or African American if that was used.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's an ethnic group.
Yeah, exactly. I want to circle back
whites
to this
aren't an
conversation.
ethnic group. Just clarifying.
But you get what I'm saying.
It's a group white.
It's a group of people that's not everybody.
I definitely am.
Nah, this is a whole conversation, I think, from a sociological standpoint.
And before we get to it, I just want to ask, speaking of Cam Newton, why the fuck was he bringing briefcases to these interviews? He was playing basketball. He always had He always had a little dossier, like a little satchel.
He's like Nardwuar. He does research on his interviewers to try and be ready for them.
He brings them gifts.
Yeah, here's a vinyl of the Ronettes for you.
Right. And here's footage from your game in '97.
Yeah. Cam Newton. Welcome to Toronto or whatever the fuck, Alberta. What's he from? Ontario?
I don't even know.
Bah, boom.
You're Cam Newton. We have to know.
I love Nardwuar.
Yeah, he's so
he
fun.
had a stroke.
Yes.
What was it? 2 years ago or something like that? It was in recent years. But
yeah, I don't recall. I don't remember. But it was.
I don't remember when it was, but I know it happened.
But it was recent, yeah, and it was scary. I love his interviews with Henry Rollins, specifically the first one he did, where Henry Rollins is kind of like a predator trying to choose if he can eat what's in front of him or not, and he's just kind of like, okay, you're all right. Like he realizes.
Henry Rollins is just funny in general when it comes to interviews or speeches.
Living, being him.
Yeah.
He's got a big ass chip on his shoulder still, it seems like, when you're listening to him talk. But
and he's like, I went to Iraq, okay? or he goes to random countries
Mm-hmm.
and does documentary
Yeah.
situations.
What countries?
I believe Iraq was one of them. I don't know. You can check me on that.
Yeah, Henry Rollins. I feel like I talked about getting the van before on here. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, you've probably talked about the story of how he decided he wanted to be in
Black Flag.
Black Flag.
Yeah, I talk about it all the time, just like in terms of the impact it had on me, in terms of making the decision of like, do I want to be complacent, being subservient to people my entire life, or do I want to try and carve out a different path?
Yeah.
And reflecting on like Henry Rollins and like who he is, it's like I've just realized more and more over time, like, oh yeah, he's just like just when I think of like polarizing person, or just in terms of their energy, it's not like their views or their opinions, just like in their being. I think of Henry Rollins because he's just so extreme, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
like
like
in his yeah, exactly, intense,
super
like
intense.
Oh, yeah. In his, it's like everything is all or nothing.
Yeah,
you know?
he's got like military dad energy.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's
Like-
but over just social stuff.
Yeah,
just like,
right. Like-
regular social stuff. Like
Right.
not even like
It's like it's the most like, no, you cannot date my daughter.
Right,
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
He's like, I don't have sex. I don't date. I don't talk to women. You know, it's like he's
yeah.
like,
I've seen the video of him like,
Yeah.
what do I need a girlfriend for? Is she
Right.
going to the gym? If she's
Right.
not going to the gym, I don't
Right.
need her.
That's
If
what I'm
she's a
saying.
smoker, I don't want her. If she drinks, I don't want her.
Right,
Like, the most-
right, exactly.
All those
Yeah.
straight edge guys. Are
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
I feel like we have a bad habit in this show of like, I'll just try to think of things I know about someone, and they're always like their worst possible thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I wanted to start with he had an huge impact on positive impact on my life.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
this on my end because the first thing I thought of was how he said Robin Williams was.
Wait, when did he say
He
that?
said,
This was when Robin Williams was alive.
lightheaded.
Why
I'm
did-
literally lightheaded
This
from
is-
laughing so hard just
I
now.
want to know when and why. I want to know everything.
He said
I want to know
Robin Williams
everything.
was a coward for killing himself.
Oh, whoa! It's literally my point. It's
And
my.
I was like,
It's literally my
It's
point.
like, well, I was just like, well, that's the first thing I thought to bring up.
Right.
Oh,
And I'm
man.
like, damn, are
They
we
didn't
all
even-
just remembered by our worst
Was
moments?
this fresh?
Yeah.
Was this fresh after?
No,
like
yeah.
he didn't
Oh,
even
yeah.
know. We didn't even have the
Oh, you
context.
think I'm?
Oh,
he didn't say this,
man.
but I can just imagine. You think I'm fucking mourning that chump? He just let down his whole family. That chump, that jabroni, that punk. You got to go to the gym and do overhead presses,
right.
and dips.
Get it out of your system.
Yeah.
Right.
Get it out of your
Yeah.
system.
You can
Yeah.
either choose to how dare you make the choice not to live through this perfectly
Right.
acceptable reality?
Right.
No one would ever.
Right.
Only a
Yeah.
coward would look at this and be like,
right.
I don't want to be here. That's
Right.
ridiculous.
What kind of man could live 50 years on this earth and just not know they're gay?
Yeah.
What kind of man?
You don't want to live in the world where children get cancer, you fucking coward. Yeah. R.I.P. Robbie Dubs. But
You know, my Robin Williams thought, literally, when people say Robin Williams, the first thing I think about is, again, this is fresh after he died.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan's like,
You know he stole jokes, right?
he did steal jokes.
oh my
So-
God, I remember this.
Yeah.
Of course he has to
Yeah.
be that. Because
Yeah.
look,
It was a lot of
I
it was a
also-
lot of comedians.
I had many thoughts that day when
Yeah.
that happened. That was one of them, but it wasn't like, yeah, let's lead with this.
My
Right.
thought was like, I
Right.
know people are going to say this. I feel like it's always that for me. It's
Well,
like,
here's
I know-
another
Yeah,
thought.
I know that, but like,
Here's another thought. Like, Robin Williams is more comedically talented than Joe Rogan if he never said anything original in his life.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he has more talent as just an actor. You can set all the comedy aside. Yeah, anyways. But yeah, that was one of the first thoughts. I'm also just thinking of Robin Williams from heaven, just be like, oh, Henry Rollins, don't be mad. Oh, it's okay, I forgive you.
Right.
Even though you're not sorry, I forgive you.
Yeah. I'm just,
You're still in pain.
I'm just picturing a perfect scenario.
You have trauma you haven't worked out still.
My problems are solved.
right.
You're still working through a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing him from heaven being like, he stole jokes, right? He was like, yeah, that's where all yours went. Oh.
Yeah. Fucking Henry Rollins, man. But yeah.
It's a legend, though.
Yeah,
It's a living
totally.
legend.
Much respect.
Yeah.
And
Get in the van. It's worth exploring.
Is that
It's
Yeah,
a
I don't know that.
book? Okay.
but you can find lots of like good interviews where he's kind of just unpacking the crux of it too.
Cool. Yeah.
I finished the Berserk anime last night.
Oh shit.
For the first time?
97?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I saw the dumbest comment. I don't know if it was on TikTok or Twitter or something. All right. In-house Berserk head here, coming with some commentary. No, but they were basically just like complaining. They were trying to do this thing of like the manga's better. You got like comparing the anime to manga, and it was like the most dramatic one like comment I've ever seen. They were basically saying, "Oh, the anime basically like ruined it. I mean, if you read the manga, it's like," and I'm like, do you realize like the anime is like a lead into the manga? Like, do you realize it's like a? I mean, for me, I saw the anime first, and I was like, this is so amazing. And I was so emotionally moved that now I want to read the manga.
Yeah,
right.
And then I commenced to binge read the entire manga immediately after.
Right.
I just thought that was interesting for anyone who has watched Berserk and read the manga.
Yeah. Because it ends like right where the shit, where the manga starts, more or less, right?
Yeah, it's in the same way. I mean, that's literally,
It's
if I'm not mistaken, that's what it was literally marketing for the manga.
Yeah.
So it literally like it's supposed to kickstart you into the manga. I'm like, did you not have the thought? If you did read the manga before you watched the OVA, did you not have the thought of, oh, maybe I just did this in reverse?
Like, it stops before all the good stuff happens.
I'm also
what's going on?
Right.
I'm also like, I've read some of the manga and it's like the same. I mean, it's like it's more. There's more there. There's characters there that aren't there or whatever. But like, it's the same.
Broad strokes. This is like what they do with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It's also like, I mean, it's also like for me, I look
Berserk
at it.
and Harry Potter. Sorry, it's just a wild clash of franchise.
That could easily fuse together.
Yeah, right.
A nightmarish crossover.
Someone please make some art or like an illustration or something.
Yeah, what's his name? Kemto or what? Femto as Voldemort.
Right.
Mr. Potter.
Yeah, that would be
so
like Hagrid in that just pit of hell. Being like, right, just
someone please make this
I
edit.
haven't seen monsters like this. They just rip them apart instantly. Oh god!
Ew.
Someone please make this.
Visually
give
a
us
Berserk like hell portal opened up in Hogwarts. There's no love coming together, saving you. None of that.
No,
you're not built
here.
that way. Nobody's built that way.
There's no Gryffindor sword. No.
Just Malfoy like take them all. Take them all.
Yeah, no one's built like that.
Yo. So yeah, I finished it and I was just thinking that like I feel like Naruto is like just as good, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's really the
I
same.
had that first thought.
That's really just like right off the bat.
The fact
first
that you would
thought
utter
was
those
like,
words with me in the frame, me in the same
first
shot.
thought was really like first of all, it's not long enough. Naruto is just so, it gives you everything you want,
and
when does Guts get his driver's license?
Exactly.
Can we see that episode?
See, the thing about Naruto is
I just heard the penguin music from even.
See, my thing about Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, they all give you just everything you want plus hundreds of episodes more. It's like, it's like if
everything you need plus a couple hundred more.
Yeah, it's just like, a lot of people are just like, you got to leave him wanting more. I was just like, no, leave him wanting less. Leave him tired, weary of you.
My favorite part about Naruto as opposed to Berserk is that they're more accurate with the sandal wearing in Naruto.
Yeah, that's one of my... And
Berserk, it's like, what are these shoes?
The fits are better. The fits are better.
The fits are better.
Combat is better. The story better.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that take? The fits are better in Naruto.
Combat better.
Can you imagine someone sincerely arguing
character
that?
development way better in Naruto?
Yeah,
thousands of.
Yeah, I'm assuming that would be sacrilege.
I want us to. I want us to find the Naruto like super fan hater like for Jaded Form, like the person who stumbles into one of these clips and sees one of us talking shit and then just is just like obsessed and wants to take us down.
Yeah, but we'll find one eventually.
Keep
dragging this through.
I hope it's all. I hope we find a bunch of people that earnestly think Naruto is better than Berserk, and they become huge fans of the show and think we're serious.
That would rule, actually,
because that's an opinion we all share.
Yeah,
that Naruto
finally
is the superior anime.
Be brave enough to say it. Yeah, I got to keep reading the manga.
Yeah, same.
It's good. It's obviously like
in terms of Berserk.
Yeah.
It's fucking. It's
awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Yeah, fuck Griffith first of all.
Yeah, the show like sets it up, sets up the villain. It's like starts the villain's career. It basically starts. It's like a prologue kind of.
I don't. Oh man, I'm trying to think about how to. I am not a fan of like. This is a polarizing thing I'm going to say in the context of Berserk.
Are you about to come out as a Griffith sympathizer right now?
No, I'm.
Are you talking about?
No,
is the woke mob going to be brought up?
I'm saying the polar. The what?
The woke mob.
The woke mob.
No,
moralists come for us.
No. I'm talking about literally the polar opposite. Like I was like a part of me was disturbed when I saw that there were people that would like express like say that they like Griffith as a I'm like he's literally a rapist
2 times.
Like his character is literally a depiction of some of the most like disgusting things, and then it's like it's like this meta like people trying to be basically edgy through this character, and I'm like, this is weird. It's like not even people like doing. I'm thinking about like artist community and like all this stuff. It's like they're like doing these like beautiful fan art depictions of him and like all this, and I'm just like, is that what that was? I don't think that's what that was for. I don't think that's what that character was for.
It confuses me just as much as like people who are like thirsting for like Asuka and shit on Evangelion when those were supposed to be kids and shit, and also just the general like pedophilia in anime. I don't get it. It's like, oh, that's part of the fan culture, and it's like it's part of the fan culture. Have a baby on a pillow that you hump, like that's weird. As
and
fuck.
Then with Griffith, I'm like, that. I'm sorry, like that's like rape culture to me. That's like he's literally that is his character. It's like that's a part of his character.
Mm-hmm.
So then for people to come out, they take that whole body of work and they go, I want to put Griffith on my t-shirt. You know, I'm gonna like walk out.
It's all aesthetic, so he just looks pretty.
Right.
That's got to be all it is. Yeah. I mean, he's a badass looking character.
Right.
And he's, apart from his,
it's like being the Nazis looked fly.
I mean, look.
It's the same shit. It's like
I said, way too loud.
Right. I'm like, finally says
someone admitted
it. Oh my god, he admitted it. But
you get what I'm saying, though, right? It's like
I low-key feel like
I love the femto like design. I love the design. I love the way it looks visually, you know. But like,
it's
a fucked up, deviant character.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's wild that they like, not to dwell on the sexual assault part, but like that they have him like do that to Casca after he becomes femto to like drive home that he's a demon. And I'm just like, yo, I get it. I get it. He already did it once. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing it again for? But I came out of it kind of feeling like, not to sit in the Naruto space too much, but like this is what in real life, this is like the realest take on what Naruto would be. Is like if he was trying to be like the Hokage, or he's trying to be, or
he would turn into
become
Griffith.
the king. Is like
you're conveying, you're conveying the darkness, like you're conveying that. You know?
Yeah, like there's a much darker take on what Naruto actually is, you know, compared to what the anime portrays.
Like
it's like he wouldn't just be like a cool like like every fight gets ended with friendship type of dude. It wouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
It's like, what if we just talked it out, bro?
I just saw the anime YouTube thumbnail of like the darker side of Naruto. Naruto.
Yeah.
When that guy's eyes go red, you don't want to know what happens.
Actually, the Hokage is like, he's like a patriarchal figure, and if you were to become the Hokage, you would have to step on all of your friends and give them over to the demons.
Yeah,
it's obviously tied to a broader discussion about depiction of women and you know, in anime and manga and like the associations that people make with those mediums because of shit like that. But yeah, to like to come out of some of like reading some of these stories and then being like,
my guy,
yeah,
you all right?
Yeah, it's not because it's like his it goes far beyond like a character flaw or whatever. It's like a depiction of evil and like it's like being hit home, you know. Just bizarre. It's always bothered me. It's always like kind of and it's like, and then there's this thing of like, chill out. It's just a cartoon, you know. It's just a whatever. But it's like, oh well, you're showing your ass. Like you're kind of like,
I mean, bro,
you're showing yourself.
I've said this for years, but like especially when it comes to anime, just that phrase, it's not that serious, is gonna be the downfall of society. It's gonna be
it's not that serious.
Into another genocide.
Into hell.
Like,
no, I feel like the just also like it's all those Sigma male movie character things. It's just another one of those to me. It's just like misinterpreting the movie. It's thinking the bad guy's the cool guy.
It's like American Psycho, and
he's the Travis Bickles.
It's just like, I don't know. It's also just mostly a men thing.
Right. Have you seen the video of the girl's parents watching Berserk?
No.
It's so fucking. They're like arguing about it after the show, and her mom is just like, "If you tell me you fuck with Griffith, that's not a. That's not the type of."
Did you send this? I think I might have seen this. Yeah.
Was it on TikTok?
Yeah, I think so.
That was funny.
That.
Yeah,
because they were just talking about it like it was Breaking Bad or some shit.
Yeah,
like
right.
Just a regular ass
right.
show.
He was like, "I don't want no type of friend like Griffith. That's not a type of friend you need to be. You need to have in your life.
Oh, such a wholesome
if you got a friend
takeaway.
like Griffith, get him away from me because I don't want to deal with a person like that.
Not my friend. Hurts my feelings. I'll tell you that.
Right. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up.
But no, that show is so fucking good, and also just like, I don't know, just like the darkness, the bleakness of it is unlike anything else.
Yeah.
I like the polarizing parts of that, you know, the OVA and the manga. Partially because when you talk to different people about it, it does their perception of it like does reveal parts of who people are and like where they stand socially, philosophically. Like that's a part of why I think it's such a special like body of work. You know,
he's like the ultimate anti-hero too, because there's nothing bright and shiny about that world. Yet he's extremely heroic.
I was gonna say it's so basic, but they play with that like dark and light motif of just like give Griffith white hair and just have him be a dickhead.
Well, I'm not saying that this is what Miura intended, but he is also like, it's like that's colonialism. Like that's the face of colonialism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raping and pillaging and murdering, and then at the end of the day, there's people out there that will go, America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Over the aesthetics and a mythology and whatever.
Right. Willing to sacrifice all your men just for your own selfish needs.
It is interesting how like if something gets painted as being so far back in the past, we just automatically, I won't say we, but people just automatically excuse it, and they're just like, yeah, it was a long time ago. It's cool. It's the foundation of our history, so it's cool.
Right.
You know? And so like having a story like that painted as being this sort of pseudo medieval thing, it gives people so much more wiggle room to be like, oh yeah, Griffith was a good guy.
Right.
We needed people like that back then.
Yeah.
Or it was more okay back then.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like, there was a lot of that. Yeah. Historically there was.
You know, he wasn't any worse than the people around him back then.
Yeah. When you're building empires and kingdoms, it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
You know.
And now that brings us to the World Cup in Qatar.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm not a soccer head, but I know that's going on.
I
know that's.
I also have nothing. I have nothing to give on this.
I know that's going on, though.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, look.
I want to know more about it. I know Qatar perhaps building the stadium. Some things.
I know Qatar is cool with Turkey, and
well, there's. Even without that, Qatar's got some shit on its own that nearly 7,000 migrant workers dying building those stadiums, whatnot.
Fuck AJ Plus and these outlets that are funded by Qatar.
I did not know it was that high a number. That's insane.
Yeah.
I had to like put AJ Plus in there because their image is like progressive left
now this
in
vibes.
In the US, and people don't make that connection. You know?
Right.
There's like people there's like journalists that they say all this like progressive leftist stuff, and then like the Kurdish question comes up, and then they just pivot right. It's like this one outlier thing, and it's like, you know, if you didn't know it was Qatar paying their bills, you would be like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
Wait, huh?
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's how they get you.
Got to keep the lights on.
That's how they get you.
Yeah. Tell us more about what Qatar is doing, though.
Yeah. So I didn't know. One of my friends made a tweet that was like, they killed 2 9/11s worth of migrant workers just to lose the first game.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a funny, exaggerated number, and it's not.
No.
It's wild.
First of all, they're the first team, the first hosting nation ever to lose the World Cup. To lose their opening match of the World Cup.
Wow.
So it's like just
El Qassar.
Just beyond
legendary L's.
Legendary L's
from Qatar.
Yeah.
Common L.
Yeah. I mean, basically they have a modern slavery system that they claim to have eradicated, but they conveniently had it just up until everything was finished building for the World Cup.
Can I say on that?
I think they built 9 new stadiums for this. There's an entire city that didn't exist before 10 years ago.
I want to say on the slavery system, it's just, we don't have to stay on it, but like,
I'm against it personally.
Well, no, but just
you're against talking about it. Obviously,
something that people don't.
Not our business.
People don't think about. You know, there are different kinds of slavery.
Yeah,
I know. It's like it's like usually when people say slavery, even in the modern capitalist sense, they're like, oh, wage. You know, there's wage theft, or oh, they were trafficked into whatever. It's like, if you have a boss, you are also in another form of slavery. It's just better. It's like a spectrum. You're just doing better off, but you don't actually have freedom and autonomy.
Right. And
I know it's like, we know this, but like, I remember when I put those things together, I was literally just reading about the history of slavery more broadly, and years ago, and then really had the epiphany of, oh, there's a reason why when chattel slavery ended, people then started saying wage slavery. Like this was a common terminology for life under capitalism. It was like, oh, now I'm a wage slave.
Right.
You know, even like people who were enslaved Africans that then became freedmen, and they're like, oh, I was born into chattel slavery and now I'm in wage slavery.
Right.
You know?
Right. And this is more along the lines of wage slavery, but it's really closer to like,
it's a low wage.
It's really closer to like debt peonage, I would say, because
indentured
servitude. Yeah. Because they have employers in Qatar that they're basically bound to. They have to get their permission to get another job. All these little technicalities. They live in like company. I can't even call it housing. It's just like a fucking like a hostel, but from the movie Hostel. That level of hostel. It's just like dark, shitty conditions, and
I mean, I
don't have a place to shower.
You gotta send that money back home.
Gotta send that money back.
You gotta say your family needs this money coming from us. You gotta.
I can't even fathom still. I'm not to get lost in the details, but 7,000 is such a amount of people to die building something.
Yeah.
Over the course of how many years?
Yeah. I mean, it took 10 years to build the whole.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
It did?
Yeah. Or at least they got their
fucking kicking a fucking ball. I'm on.
Bro. For what they claim is the cheapest sport to play. The cheapest what they claim is the cheapest sport to play. They call it the world's the world's game or whatever the fuck they call it. The most popular sport in the world. Because it's easier to like get the shit to play it.
Right.
You know, it's just a ball. And yet
I don't know, polos, if you have means, it's very easy.
I mean, if you could acquire a horse.
Family's supposed to have at least one horse to its name.
What's a good, respectable family without its legion of horses?
That's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's damn near $250 billion worth of building. For nothing.
For what? For something that's gonna make $250 billion? I don't fucking think so.
I don't even know anymore. I don't know what the fuck. And then the dude from I don't know if he's FIFA's president. I know Sepp Blatter is like the
Sepp Blatter.
Sepp, an even stupider name.
Sepp
it's not even just a word.
Where are they from?
Sepp Blatter. I
gotta know the origin of that word.
Dog, I could not tell you.
That word, not even name. Yeah. That word. What does that phrase come from?
Well, it's short for Sephiroth with Sephiroth Bladder.
Sepp with two P's.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Swiss.
He's Swiss.
I would have thought he was from South Africa.
Joseph Sepp Blatter.
It wasn't not him.
I will now commence to say Jedi Senate or Galactic Senate ass name. Thank you. Thank you, folks. I'll be here all week.
Yeah.
Galactic Senate ass names.
Sepp Palpatine, CEO of FIFA.
What do you have midichlorians in your blood? Sepp?
Oh man.
No, I'm just Swiss. I don't even know what a Swiss accent is.
I'm just gonna pretend they all sound like Donnie like these
Europeans, right?
Oh my god.
South Africa. I would have thought he was from South Africa.
Danny Brown's story about them trying to fuck him is so funny.
Oh yeah.
What?
He's like,
from that Vice show.
Yeah.
Trying to fuck me, bro.
Ninja came up here and he was trying to like put her on me, and I was kind of like, man, I could maybe be into this, but I don't really like Ninja touching up on my leg like that.
Oh God. Shout out Taylor, who has a crazy story where Danny Brown was on live and referred to her like she had met him briefly at like I don't know, like a show or something. He's like, she's crazy. He called her crazy.
Imagine
she's like, Danny Brown calling me crazy.
Right.
This was full blown sexual assault in Paris. He's saying.
Oh, by by D. Antwoord. I think he called it that. He was like, Ninja tried to kiss him and all this shit.
Okay, well, that's
It's not great.
creepy.
It wasn't great.
It's weird. I would not expect just from aesthetics that they'd be into some crazy shit.
You mean the South African band that did blackface?
Oh yeah, I guess. Oh, you say did.
I guess they
Should we
did.
do blackface? Do you think so?
Right.
Shut up, Black. Anyway, the dude from FIFA, he gave this stupid ass speech that was like, I think
Blatter.
it wasn't Sepp Blatter. It was another FIFA dude. I don't know what the fuck anyway.
Fucking Kit Fisto.
But he gave this. He gave this stupid ass speech where it was like, and it'll sound familiar to you, I think, but he was just like, today I feel Qatari.
Oh, I saw that.
Today I feel gay.
Yeah.
Today I feel like a Jew.
Yeah.
Today I feel just like, bro.
We will absorb everybody of every identity. We will absorb every person everywhere
like,
into our capital accumulating machine.
Today
and now
I feel
FIFA president Kiadi Mundi will speak.
Today I feel the ever expanding power of our global empire.
Did you see the picture of that one like turtle yacht, like $100 trillion yacht city?
I'm sorry, but it's like you are everything in the sense of like the monster from The Thing. Like you're like that is what you mean.
Yeah,
you are just like.
Well, he's like, today I feel like you.
And then absorbs your body.
Yeah.
Fuck a Libra. I feel like your ass.
Right. 7,000 bodies in the palm of my hand. That's what I feel like.
What did it cost? 7,000
microwave. Because it was so much like, it reminded me of that Marcos speech where he says more or less the same thing, but he's coming at it from the position of like this revolutionary figure as opposed to like a chief commanding officer of one of the most openly corrupt organizations in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Marcos saying it in the sense of like almost like I exist in so much as like you exist. Like I don't exist. I am.
Whereas this dude is
saying, like my needs and my needs and like what I in terms of freedom is tied to your freedom.
Right. And not trying to back away from the cult of personality aspects of like being a person like him. This is Subcomandante Marcos of the Zapatistas, for anybody who doesn't know. And this dude, on the other hand, saying it as if to say
he's pulling the Cuomo.
Well, he's doing it to say like
I am gay.
New York tough.
He's doing it to say what human rights record are you speaking of?
I'm a gay
what
guy.
What do you mean?
I'm the halal card guy. I'm the fucking cops.
I'm from New Boston York.
Now.
Can't you see my nipples through my shirt?
Yeah,
my pierced nipples through my shirt.
Everyone de Blasio was like, "You told me if I get a shot, I get free French fries. That's pretty cool. I think I'll get a shot."
That sounds like
and
a
everyone's
great
just
deal.
like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
What?
Acting like a teacher who's fed up with their students on a Friday.
Yeah.
Big teacher energy,
infantilization,
uncharismatic principal vibes.
I mean, you could have some of these delicious French fries, but you guys don't want to behave. So
you could start recess, but you're acting up.
Yeah. We could start Finding Dory right now. We could have started it 15 minutes ago.
Exactly.
But people want to talk.
Right.
I hate. There's nothing worse than
to stand in front of
yeah
thousands, millions of people as an adult and talk to them that way.
Yeah.
Like just think about your how you perceive human beings in society.
Like we always talk about dehumanizes you, but like that infantilizes you because now you're a mommy or daddy now being like, you gotta get her shot.
Right. But also
that's why I didn't get it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm vaxxed.
Talking some real shit now.
I think I already had it.
Why do we have to get the shot? Oh man. Yeah, no, fuck that president guy. I fucking hate when like bosses. I mean, it's already bad, but then when they're like not charismatic at all,
right?
Like,
when they're like not even
their personality was the last reason that they got to their position.
Right.
I hate that.
It's like at the very least be entertaining if you're gonna be.
That's what Buttigieg was for me. It was like you're so like latently repulsive as a person, but you're like,
right?
Yeah, I'm actually on Stephen Colbert. Well, it's democracy is actually really practical. Well, practical solutions to transportation.
I think you talked about his partner, like Oprah talks about Stedman.
Yeah,
it's the same. What is his name? Like Steven or something?
I don't know, Frank or some shit. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, so me and Steven, we just go out and we walk our dogs every morning at 7 a.m. before we get our day started. And
the meme of him killing dogs to get out his frustration. That's a whole meme with Pete Buttigieg. Yeah, that like when something upsets him, he just goes to a kennel somewhere and just unleashes.
That reminds me bare hands, right?
That reminds me of the cruelty
of in Iraq or something.
The cruelty of the Millie Bobby Brown meme. What that she it's the joke. It's people saying that she hates gay people.
Oh, really?
It's a whole.
That's
this
funny.
is bad that I'm putting this out there. Like, well, they're like hipping people to this.
The funniest is what's her face from Glee? The joke that she can't read. I forget.
Oh, that's so fucking.
That's my fucking.
That's hilarious.
I don't care if there's things wrong with that. It's the funny. I don't know. That's the funniest shit in the world.
They're just like, see, look.
It's always
like they're in her TikTok comments being like "Slay Queen," and then in parentheses they'll have emojis so she knows what they're saying.
Right.
And you're just whole TikTok comment page of people doing this.
The clip of her
so committed to the bit.
The clip of her like at the Grammys or something like that, and she opens the envelope and just like.
Right. They're like, see,
see.
Oh. What's her name? I forget. What's her name? Fucking something?
Yeah.
Is it Cabela? Or is that another?
No, that's another. Camila Cabello also gets a bunch of flack, and people just shit on her on Twitter.
For what?
No, just kind of. I don't know. People don't like her.
Oh wow.
I forget.
I'm not stepping into that.
I don't want to.
That fucking teeny bopper pop world. I don't give a fuck, man.
I don't want to start guessing.
You don't give a fuck, man. It's about
rock and roll. Yeah.
It's about rock and roll, man.
It's about rock and roll, pal.
Yeah. You ever listen to Mars Volta,
Jerry
pal?
Garcia could go up and do 2 hours on 5 tabs and no one would be the wiser.
I walked Bob Dylan on stage. Who are you?
Maybe ask yourself if you can keep the party going when the lights go off, pal.
It's about rock and roll and libertarianism.
Let me say, the fucking archetype of a white man, or not white man, white people in general, where they go, this is real music, and they're pointing to a white person doing black music, like rock or jazz or whatever, and they're like, this is real music. I saw this the fucking other night, literally, because I saw this amazing clip of Tom Jones performing with Little Richard, and I didn't know he was fucking Welsh.
Oh.
Tom Jones is fucking Welsh, like has an accent and everything.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
And I'm
trying to parse it out in his singing.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
not unusual.
I went in the comment section. And it's literally all European white people. And they're obviously praising him, but there's like this one person who is just like, oh, something, this is real music, not like that Beyonce trash. And then I literally hit like to see the accordion of like the replies, because I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna tear this person apart. And it was literally just all white people agreeing with like and everyone liking all the comments.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what world do y'all live in now? Like how removed culturally and from reality do you have to be to one, make that comment, and then it's just mind blowing.
Well, to still think
there was one person who went, oh well, she's at least a real performer. I was
about
like,
Beyonce.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is so this is fucked.
Yeah,
it's so back and forth. But it's like that is That's why when the Elvis shit came out, I was just like, no, please take it back. Like, take it back into the kitchen. Like, this is the last thing. This is the last thing white people need right now. Like, this is the last thing they need.
That's just so funny to me. The notion of somebody still thinking that's up for debate. Like, nobody's even arguing about Beyonce's abilities.
Most people are just dumb. They don't have these insights. Literally, they're stupid.
Yeah, it's multi-layered, right? Not knowing that your favorite white musicians in this context were like doing black music and not even understanding it as black music. You know, the whole thing. It's just music, man. It's just music. It's like that, and then there's just a subconscious like racism. Like your brain is like just trying to make this connection of like black low quality.
Degenerates.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
It's like those two things, and
I would rather listen to the white pedophiles that I grew up with
right.
than this degenerate booty shaking music.
Right.
The music we stole from the Negroes was so good until the blacks got their hands on it.
Right. Until the blacks got it back.
When we added like J.R.R. Tolkien vibes to it and made Led Zeppelin, that's when I got into it.
Led Zeppelin is wild, man, because they were just literally just doing black artist songs. Like they were just doing them.
Yeah,
you know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
They were also keeping teenagers locked up in a basement dungeon, so you got to give them some credit. You know, they were
really
fucking Jimmy Page, I think, had like a
they were
girl
pedophiles. Yeah,
just a band of Griffiths.
I don't know enough about them, but I'd be curious to see what the DNA of their music is specifically.
I'll find the one
because I do love their music, but you know, I'm not an idiot. I know reality.
I've enjoyed their music, and then just looking into it, you're just like, oh.
There's a whole Rolling Stone article from 2016, and it's called "Led Zeppelin's 10 Boldest Ripoffs." It's
no way!
Wow!
Oh, let's see if it loads up. Hold on.
Speaking of Rolling Stones.
I had the realization yesterday, and I was like,
come on.
I was listening to some White Stripes, and I was thinking about Jack White, and I was like, when did I really get into White Stripes? And it's like, oh, probably when I like in college rewatched that documentary with him, Jimmy Page, and The Edge, and I had the realization, like, oh, that was just 3 white guitarists, rock guitarists.
Yeah,
and I was like, I didn't even give that a second thought when I first saw it. That
you know, what's really funny is
like they were paying homage to black artists, but.
You know what's funny is I would argue the Edge is the one with the least influence from black artists, and he's also just not a good guitarist.
He's boring.
He's a sound engineer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and it's like you watch that documentary, and the Edge is just kind of like cool. Two guys who love the guitar, and I
turn this knob, and then it sounds like I'm playing a lot of notes, and I'm playing one note.
Yeah. And he's like trying to show Jimmy Page and Jack White how he does his stuff.
Let me read this. Right. I couldn't, for whatever reason, the Rolling Stone article wouldn't load, but this I'm in another like Far Out magazine. They have a list. There's like plenty of lists, and they have one for a song called "Whole Lotta Love."
That was the first song in my head. I don't know why.
They go, if there's one man who can be called the 5th member of Led Zeppelin, then it is probably Willie Dixon, an iconic bluesman in his own right. Many of Dixon's songs were lifted and implanted into Led Zeppelin's canon. While Page is usually the man to lean on Dixon, in the case of Whole Lotta Love, Robert Plant borrowed lyrics from You Need Love, a Dixon contribution made famous by Muddy Waters in 1962. I'll also add, my dad is a blues person, so I grew up listening to Muddy Waters and all of this stuff. So it's like an extra like I still to this day haven't done like a Led Zeppelin dive like in terms of their music or discog. Right. All I've seen is them just ripping other people's stuff. But let me get to this last. Plant later recalled, I wish I knew what he spoke like. I just thought, well, what am I going to sing? That was it. A Nick, now happily paid for. At the time, there was a lot of conversation about what to do. It was decided that it was so far away in time and influence that, well, you only get caught when you're successful. That's the game.
Cool.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Though.
Cool.
Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just like tripping over just the cultural aspects
it's
of that.
It's a songwriting credit you're missing.
But just like the racial dimensions of you saying that.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Oh, just take it. Just take it. We've been doing that for centuries. Just what's a song gonna hurt? You know, it's like
right.
What's a song on the pile of things?
Yeah.
They'll be
there's
happy
like
to
there's
see
so
that song
many.
is popular now because a white man sang it.
That's not the one that I'm thinking of. I'm gonna see if I can try and it might be that. It might be that. Yeah, that might actually be it. Hold on.
This is all news.
Those
to
are two
me.
songs that
I thought
know.
they were original geniuses.
I love Led Zeppelin, but they're also just as musicians, but they just have stolen.
Yeah.
Immense amount of music.
So what
From
you,
black artists.
so
Exactly.
so what you do? You take a black person's song and then you add a weird time signature and then it's your song.
Okay.
Now
And I
it's-
can do just any song. I
Yeah.
can do this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I make money still, right?
You
I
make
don't
money.
have to pay them.
Take Manish Boy. Take Manish Boy. That song. Now it's in 7/8.
Oh,
Look at that.
okay.
Look at that.
All right. I see the play.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Dazed and Confused looks like it was. Is this stolen from a white dude?
I don't know. I just know that one's definitely stolen, and so is the Babe I'm Gonna Leave You.
Jake Holmes.
J. Cole covered it.
Yeah.
It's really. I feel like it's so interesting also when you consider that like everybody was doing covers back then. That was such an era of just like everybody does covers.
Yeah.
Everybody like so
Hendrix
the
did
Beatles. The
All
Beatles
Along the
started
Watchtower.
doing covers. Hendrix covered Bob Dylan. It's amazing to like to manage to be so egregious about it that everybody just unanimously is like, oh yeah, they stole that.
Mm-hmm.
Like to manage
Top
to
10
to
biggest
manage
ripoffs.
across the
There's a
line.
Watch Mojo top 10
There's
biggest
a Re-
ripoffs.
There's a Reddit post on r/Led Zeppelin from 7 years ago, and the title is it true that Led Zeppelin stole from black artists?
It's always
I've
a
often
question
heard-
they know the
Yo,
answer
that's
to.
like
I've often heard that Led Zeppelin stole from black/African American musicians. Is this true?
That feels like more of a Quora question.
It's always questions they know the answers to. Like I looked up because a kid from Stranger Things was caught wearing a Lynyrd Skynyrd shirt and it had the Confederate flag on it, and I had this brain blast like, oh, that's right, Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah.
And I looked up like Lynyrd Skynyrd racist, and the first thing was like a Reddit post like, Lynyrd Skynyrd's not still racist, right?
Still.
Yeah, they don't still fuck with the Confederate flag,
They
right?
stopped, right?
And then that
Please
led
tell
me
me they
down
stopped.
a wormhole where I was like, oh yeah, on Sweet Home Alabama, they say, I hope Neil Young will remember a Southern man don't need him around anyhow, or something like that. And it's because Neil Young made a song about anti-racism that they didn't like.
Wow.
About the South, and it was called Alabama Man, but they took that personally, so they dissed him. They subbed him.
And I took that personally.
I think I found the song I was thinking of. It's the Lemon song.
Oh
Howlin'.
yeah, I know that
It's
one,
biting
yeah.
off of Howlin' Wolf, Killing Floor.
Oh, okay.
They took from
yeah.
I don't know
They
that
took from
song,
Lead
but-
Belly too, and then I don't know this one, but I'm seeing their song Rock and Roll, which is a take from Little Richard's Keep a Knockin'.
That would make sense. That's a
yeah.
great song.
Yeah.
Anything with Little Richard though, like Little Richard, for those who aren't aware, is the father of like rock and roll. Just like,
Yeah.
and obviously he was inspired by gospel musicians and artists and and women in particular. But damn, I lost my train of thought.
Little Richard, Father.
Oh
Rock
yeah,
and Roll.
no. I was gonna make the point that when he was blowing up, you know, there would be white musicians that would literally just go out and perform his songs and do tours, just basically imitating him.
Wow.
Right.
And like he literally lost money and opportunities because of it.
Platforms like YouTube, Patreon, Spotify, they're all ass. They don't respect your privacy, they're riddled with ads, and they're completely silent and unreachable when you need help. Have you ever talked to somebody at YouTube? Think about that. I sure haven't. To top it all off, we don't control them at all, despite being the reason they exist.
So that's why we're partnering with a design and development agency called Sanctuary Computer to build our own cooperative alternatives that bring the best features of all those platforms together and that we can control together too.
We seriously got to have an exodus to some sort of digital Zion that we built ourselves. Somewhere where all of us can actually have a say over the technology that we're using to communicate with each other. For more on how you can support us all in getting off these shitty platforms, visit opencollective.com/digital Zion and tap in.
Just because these dystopian systems are eating themselves alive
doesn't mean they gotta take us with them.
And we're back.
I did want to swing back though to the Little Richard conversation, because it's like there's also a connection to two things actually, like culturally, like looking at and like how we perceive innovations or whatever in the scope of time, and then what's his name from Led Zeppelin said of like, oh, it was so, it was so far
in the past.
Yeah, it was so far back that it's just like, whatever, fuck
Which it had to have been, what, 20 years?
No, yeah, it literally was
It's ancient history.
Right.
I was only 14 when that came out.
Right, and like this is, but on those points, it's like, this is how you can like, there are like some white kids you could go to and be like, yeah, like deathcore metal like can be tied to Little Richard and Mahalia Jackson, and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You have no idea what you're talking about. You don't know about rock and roll.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know anything about this history. It's like it becomes that divorced and that removed. I think about that in terms of like even rap music and hip hop. It's like you have these kids that don't even realize that the way that they're rapping comes from like Bone Thugs and Harmony or like from whatever. They can't actually make that cultural and like historical connection. And it's like in that sort of thing that black artists and contributions like get erased, especially when we're talking about when there's lots of money involved in the major labels and entertainment system and whatnot. And
major labels, nice to meet you.
Hey, small label, nice to meet you.
But yeah, and it's like, it's wild because if you you can listen to some of this music and immediately be like, oh yeah, like I see how we got here from there.
Yeah.
But when we're in a white supremacist country and
it all
system,
came from gay sex. That is the
well, no, he's not
original
gay.
molecule.
Well,
no, he's not gay no more. He's delivered.
I will say black gays specifically, like insane the contributions like culturally, and you could argue that rock music and countless subgenres underneath it stems from black gays and women.
Yeah.
And it's like it's frustrating because I feel like when you say something like that, because of this disconnect, it feels like you're being like hyperbolic or like you're trying to come up with a baity title for a BuzzFeed article or something.
Right.
It's like, no, this is literally just I'm just stating a fact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like so many people say that on Twitter constantly without really backing it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah,
like,
that happens too. So it's like you feel like people are just like,
that's why like I want like Ken Burns docs to be about other stuff. Like do more. Like someone needs to apply that journalistic depth to these topics.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he's done jazz and stuff, but like still there's so many things that deserve this.
Yeah. I would love to see one just on the concept of genre, because I feel like that's a big part of it, is like all these
how music journalism created genres and shit like that.
Yeah, and sort of like those distinctions breeding entire like cultural divides between
race
people.
music
Versus country music.
That
like,
Reefer Madness. She goes off to
Madness.
those clubs and listens to race music.
Right.
So that was Little Richard's era. It was like, that's race music.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
like it's just so interesting when you get up to like
Colored people. I hate that.
Don't just
I
point to
hate-
me when you.
I hate that. No, because we're all colored. You know, it's like, why are we? Everything is centered around whiteness.
We're all crayons in one big box together.
Do you get what I'm saying though?
You know?
Do you understand what I'm
I
saying
hate
though?
this.
It's like
I hate this stuff.
everything's centered against whiteness.
Yeah.
Mhm. Right.
Right.
The colored, the race music,
That's-
it's like we didn't fucking
you know
make
what's-
race. You
Right.
did.
You know what's wild?
Why are you calling our shit
Dog.
race music? Like we made the distinction.
did that shit.
Yeah,
You know
like
what's
you're
wild
making
to
it
me?
about race, man.
Stop
because
playing
I'm
the race card.
because I'm existing.
Yo, what's funny as
like-
fuck to me is if I got the choice to make that distinction, why would I define myself as I am colorless? you have
Right.
you have color.
Yeah, that kind of sounds
That's
shitty to
fucking
me.
Weird, man.
You know?
You're just like, look at me, I'm a blank slate.
I'm a loose leaf
I'm
slip.
the most regular.
I'm
Yeah.
pure, not
there's
dirty.
there's nothing appealing to me.
Yeah, dude.
Like fucking weird,
Are
man.
you gonna say something?
No, I'm just. I was thinking about how shitty it would be to be from Australia and just like forever have that accent. Like you can't control that shit. It's like you're already
Like just European and like you got that. At least with
Right.
like white American, it's just like ambiguous. Like
right.
I
like-
get what you're
shit,
saying.
nothing.
Yeah.
But then to have a accent on
Right.
everything, just like you can never be like. And people are always gonna be like, "You're doing the kangaroo fucking voice thing." Like,
See, I was thinking about it from a colonial standpoint. It's like you
Yeah.
walk in a room and you start talking, and then it's like this sense of like,
Oh, you just have that mark. You have the mark of the devil
Right.
on you. yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it's like-
Australian is like the worst of it.
Right.
It's like, it's like, oh, you really don't give a fuck about people.
Right.
I guess it's just like
Sorry to all the Australian comrades
Yeah.
listening to
Imagine being like, I'm racist to people you don't even know exist.
and also indigenous Australian people because they got that accent too. So
yeah. I don't know. I just think
Oh my
like
God,
just
bro.
having
From colonialism.
one of those dialects when you're just trying to fit in, but then you're just no matter where you go in the world, it's just a dead giveaway where you're from. You know?
Can anybody guess where I'm from?
no,
No.
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 Yeah.
I'm actually from New Zealand.
Yeah.
You're like, I do not care.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually racist towards Maori people. They're not.
You got it wrong,
You got
mate.
it wrong, mate.
Maori.
It's
Maori.
the Maori people.
You know that daytime TV show?
Yeah. It's actually a funny thing. In the,
Do they
in the
know
last,
whether you're the father or not?
in the last Olympics, an athlete was famous because he got to express his own culture on national TV for the first time in history. You remember that?
In history.
In history.
Who did that? Who calls that, mate?
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
And who got to suppress his culture up until that point? That was us. He wouldn't have been able to do that without us.
Wouldn't everybody have that landmark achievement?
Yeah, right. What a mind fuck.
Right.
What a mind fuck.
Right.
Let's celebrate now.
Yeah.
We actually let
It's literally manufacturing consent
Right.
at like the broadest.
Mhm.
You
Okay,
just set the scope.
You've got to
of-
give us credit, mate. We let them out of the indigenous boarding schools.
right. Right. Oh God.
Man,
It never had to be this way, white people.
it did not. It didn't.
That's the biggest thing. It's like when people when white people who want to conveniently be like post-racial, and you're like, dude, we all want to get there, but we're not there.
Right,
So
yeah.
you're not helping by just like ignoring the reality.
I mean,
I'm just
like,
laughing at you, like looking at the camera, saying like, "It didn't have to be like this." The Batman doesn't show his face. White people will die every
No,
night.
I say that to say also, it's like it's not too late. You know,
Yeah.
like we could fucking make a new way, but you
Right.
can't.
Give us the
bro.
Batman.
You don't
the
do
white
that,
people
bro.
live.
You don't do that by acting like all this shit isn't happening.
Yeah.
You know,
And
like
bro, I just remembered why I brought up the World Cup. It was to because I feel like like global sporting events like that are one of the last things keeping us in this shit. In this like, yo, looking at me like there's no.
No, I'm.
But like,
just anticipating.
Oh, I mean, I just feel like it.
Like in this shit, in this like post-racial ignore it type shit. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, well, because really with like Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics, the World Cup, all these other tournaments in between, it's like we have all these little junctures where we're like
the nation.
We'll forget about it for a month.
Right.
For a month. There's always these tweets
we can come together and hold hands and just turn our eyes to
the
reality.
nation comes together for sport.
The nation comes together to turn a blind eye to the death of 6,000 migrant workers.
It is crazy how nationalism, like even the most like just genuine, nice, wholesome people are just so
just
latched
assume
on.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Just assume that.
So latched on.
And it's baked in. It's like y'all saying we for America.
Okay.
Well, God damn it, we freed half the world, pal.
No, that's how deep it. I mean, I'm not exempt from that.
But just like
I was raised
let's just
in the
say
same
Mexico, for example.
y'all.
You're proud to be from Mexico, and you're waving the Mexican flag, and meanwhile, you're not even thinking about how there's a whole like nation state that's represented by that flag.
That's fucking you.
Yeah, well, it's like
because this project, this project is a part of that.
It's like you don't know what other distinction to put it under. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I can claim Atlanta until I leave the country, and then people are like, where the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
it's
almost for a convenience thing that we're just like waving these banners. You know what I mean?
Like
people.
the nation that you feel a part of is represented by a nation state, and then you're not really realizing the distinction there.
Yeah, well, it's like you associate, like you act like I love America so much, when really it's like, no, the dude who is at the deli at the corner just makes a good sandwich, and you like that sandwich.
You like your neighbor.
You're just like,
they don't kill you.
Yeah, they don't kill you.
I just want to clarify.
They don't take your money.
I just want to clarify. I said for some people because you have that. That's probably most people.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have the upholders of the settler colonial project.
Right. I thought
at the same time.
I thought you were saying that to be like some people, not me, but like
no.
Some people, man.
No, I'm saying like there's people who want America to continue, and for them America is a continuation of colonialism and seeing the white supremacist project to completion. And like,
but
I don't think that's most people though.
There's a lot of people with just like, well, just the best ideas won. I don't know what to tell you, pal. like that's a lot of people.
I love the meritocracy myths. Like those are the funniest takes. Like
I don't know, we're on top. So
like, hey,
might be something to this,
dude. I mean, we got iPhones, man. Think about it.
Who's got a bigger military than us?
When you think about it, where's your government?
Yeah, it's been a failure. It's everyone that's tried has failed.
No, but that survival of the fittest for everything mindset of like best ideas are winning out. Shit is so funny.
Just the people with the most just baseless, inhumane violence. They took control. So I don't know what to tell you.
They happen to just be right for whatever reason.
Who traded in their souls and the souls of all their future generations for power. They were willing to do that, and y'all weren't. So.
Right.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we got to really like be more specific when we talk about the marketplace of ideas.
It's Facebook Marketplace for sure.
Yeah, you know, I just.
It's not a farmer's market. It's some like does that Mickey Mouse light switch have come on it?
Here in the Boston marketplace of ideas.
He's in the Boston market.
Yeah, the Xbox
we have rotisserie chicken.
Oh my god, man.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
It's just like,
oh god, that is so good.
Yeah, we should all be able to talk to people we disagree with, you know? It's just like about what band we like, you know?
And the racists now are like responding to Facebook Marketplace posts that have been deleted for years. They're like, is this still for sale? Like, Anti-Semitism
Right,
is it still going?
Right.
Can I still buy this?
It's vintage? Oh,
Oh
copping.
wow, I love it.
Cop.
What do you mean it's 90 years old? That's fine.
Yeah, I'll take it. That's gonna be worth something soon.
Yeah, that's fine.
Eugenics, I'll just blow the dust off of
Yeah.
it. And
I'll blow the
it'll be good
cartridge
as
and it'll
new.
work.
Yeah.
You just spruce
Yeah.
that on up, put
I
a
saw-
suit on it.
Yeah. I saw a funny ass tweet that it was like wolf territory markings in like the Midwest, and it showed that wolves are extremely respectful of each other's territories. And they were like, the tweet, I forget, sorry whoever this was, I don't remember to give credit, but they were like, we should stop saying were you raised by wolves and start asking were you raised by the British.
I was waiting for you to get that
Yeah.
shot in. I was like, where's the Brit
Yeah.
shot
Right.
coming in?
Yeah, and that's so true. I don't know.
Man.
Well, at least those schools.
Yeah.
Schools
You know, I like
are
Channel 4, but it's like every episode. I can't fucking breathe.
Fucking breathe.
It's called in one
breathe,
episode.
Mike.
It's Shift Spliffy from Cars 2, whatever the fuck from there.
Vin
McMissile.
McMissile.
Michael Caine. So you're gonna tell me Michael Caine's got problems? Friend Mick Mitchell.
a colonizer.
Your grape
Master
swishes,
Wang.
Master. It's the best meme. Your grape swishes, Master. When he's crying in the third one, I never thought that was sad. It was always he's snotting down his face.
He's like spitting.
It's like, come on,
Yeah.
have some dignity, Alfred.
Oh my
Come
god. Oh, have some dignity. The man who's the
I
man who
used to
can
wipe Batman's butt with baby wipes back in the day.
I kept serving your family even when your father was dead and there was no one left to pay me.
Isn't there like an Underground Railroad reference in Batman Begins? He's like, these mines were used because your father helped in the Underground Railroad. Like they just had to give him that little.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he's a
father.
good rich guy.
No, the Thomas
Your
Wayne,
father, right?
the Thomas Wayne apologia in these fucking movies, man.
Yeah,
Your father,
cancel Thomas Wayne.
your
dude.
father was a good man.
Yeah,
Your father was a good man. He never had any slaves.
yeah. They weren't allowed to stay here, but they could
except
go
for me.
through.
He never had a single slave except for
yeah,
me.
yeah,
I
yeah.
live in this house. I have no family to speak of.
Right.
I don't even have a 401k. I don't have nothing. He gave me a gold crown of undescribed value, and that's my inheritance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had a daughter show up in one movie and she disappeared.
is that true?
Oh yeah.
Is that from the Michael
whole-
I
Keaton?
want to say Batman and Robin. I think.
Oh, okay.
That whole benevolent, like entrepreneur capitalist thing,
Yeah.
like philanthropic. You know, he was exploiting people, but he was against slavery. So this chattel kind, just the
Yeah.
chattel kind.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Let's start businesses.
It reminds me of what we were talking about earlier in the sense of like, and it's why I brought it up, like there's different kinds of slavery, because I was literally imagining the person where that they make that their whole thing is like trying to just end they say modern slavery, but it's just like we're just talking about this kind. It's like, that kind is tied to the big wage slavery kind, right?
Yeah,
You realize the capital accumulation and subservience and all of that, like the spectrum is like the spectrum of slavery is largely being held together by this.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
also like a not unnotable amount of like our economy just exists still from that.
Yeah, that's
industry.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of
Right.
our infrastructure was built through it.
Yeah, and it's just exporting. It's like if the people have less resources, less opportunity, you just get to these firms can just exploit them even more depending on the country or the region or whatever.
What's that Graver quote? It was like, some people were trying to get better conditions for the slaves, and most people were like, no, there shouldn't be any slaves.
yeah.
Yeah,
I remember seeing like a Richard Wolff
it's Wolf
video who was talking about how
was-
the liberals back then would be like, oh, the conditions
Yeah,
for
I
the
was-
slave
Oh,
were
yeah.
so
I was-
bad.
Yeah, right.
And then like other people were like, maybe
Fuck
just
all
no
of that.
slaves.
No slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it extends further than just chattel slavery. It's like, and even it's like it's gets fuzzier because it's like No, well, I have a TV and a PS5, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would call that. I don't know if I would call that slavery.
Okay, the personal attacks have got
I'm
to
a slave.
stop.
Well, guess what? I have PS Plus, and that's only like $20 a month.
Right. But I also think about people I've seen. They make over 6 figures a year, and they want to fucking blow their brains out.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe the numbers in your bank account don't just like fix what you're psychologically putting or being. I guess if you're making that much money, you are putting yourself through it to a certain degree. But
I mean, like,
but you're a wage worker. You're still if you don't have a job, you can't just go and fuck off and live, even if you're making that six figures or whatever. It's like, there's a psychological price that's being paid. And
well, it's just so funny because it's like, we've been having these conversations for a couple years now, so I've had a couple jobs since then, and it's just funny when like our boss, for example, it's Thanksgiving week, and we might work tomorrow, or we are going to work in office tomorrow. I work a hybrid job, and it's just like I was on like a Slack chat where it was like a couple of my coworkers basically together asking him, is it cool if we just don't come in because there's not going to be a lot to do, and he was just like, yeah, no. And it's just so funny because it's like it comes down to literally one person saying yes or no.
Yeah.
It's like
your autonomy.
Like you can just maybe I'll give you a raise, but probably forget about it. Literally that happens. Like a boss will entertain a raise and then can just be like,
and you're like, you want to check how much money we have? I feel like we have more money than you think. Like, no,
that's not really any of your business.
It's not really in my interest to look.
Just go generate all the revenue, okay?
Yeah.
Don't ask questions.
Get back on the hamster wheel, you fuck.
Yeah.
You fuck.
You sweet fuck.
You sweet
fuck, all right?
You're a sweet little fuck. I love you.
That sweet fuck. That's.
I see you Monday. You're a sweet little fuck. I love you. And you know what? There's so many. As someone who doesn't work a 9 to 5, I will say there's so many conditions that are being let slide, be just purely on the basis that they're a little bit better than that. It's like everything is just on a gradient of the same shit, but it never just reaches like, what if we just didn't do this?
That's what I mean by the spectrum of slavery. It's
you'll always. Yeah, I mean, it's like. There's always going to be someone with a prod being like, you gotta do this.
And the seed is hierarchy, just to be clear. Like the spectrum of slavery, the seed is hierarchy. That's the through line for the whole thing.
And I mean, bro, I feel like talking about this maybe will get me in trouble, but I don't care anymore.
I feel like you have at least one of those every episode.
Every other day, man. This past weekend, one got just a nice little note that the accounting department at WME is holding one of my checks because when I was working last year, I told them just take your commission out. I don't want to think about it. They didn't do that. Sent me an invoice after the money was already gone. So now I just owe them money.
Right.
And while doing this, sent me a last minute job a last minute offer to go 5 hour drive to Ithaca to perform at Cornell with I think maybe 6 or 7 hours notice. Got to get a rental car, all this shit just to get up there to do this job that's going to pay some of that money off. And do I have a choice? Not really.
Right.
No. And then I go up. It's a fun show. I've been up there before. I performed there last year. I had a good time, but all colored by the fact that like, I just owe these people money.
No,
regardless of
fully validate you. If I had to drive 5 hours last minute for that reason, that would be exceptionally bleak.
Because you owe.
Because I owe money.
Like Tony Soprano is.
Yeah,
You
literally
fucking
like right.
You fucking earn.
Listen,
You're gonna
yeah.
go out there and you're gonna fucking earn.
Listen, you
You're
doing
money.
you fucking funny fuck. You're gonna go say a grab fuck.
You sweet fuck.
You sweet little
Sweet fuck. Ah, you're a little
you, I love you. I
You're gonna go
love
out there
you.
and you're gonna earn.
You're gonna make your little money.
He's a top earner. Makes him laugh. What do you think? Gotta do a show.
Who are
gotta
you
make-
again? Who are you again?
You know all the,
WME.
Yeah.
you gotta go make a bunch of kids laugh, and they don't even understand this reference.
White Men Enterprises. Have you heard of it?
Yo. Bro.
Chet
Got him.
Yeah.
Chet Hanks talking about we're coming for you, WME. I
Sound
can't do-
effects. Sound effects.
I can't even do
I
it.
can't even, you know.
He's got that on me. Chet, yeah, Chet's got that on me.
Your boy Chetina.
Chet followed Connor on was it
Yeah.
Instagram?
Yeah, it's true. It's
Yeah,
true.
I love that.
Got the.
I love that white men. They clearly like they see you like when they see you.
gravitate to you.
You're
They
like
feel safe.
no. I'm
They
saying
do.
you mean something in their head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm trying
Yeah.
to pinpoint. I don't know what it is, but it's like because it's been other people too. It's not even just white men. It's like I'm gonna cut it out. Yeah, I'm not gonna
I sure
name drop
won't
another.
speculate why.
I'm not
I don't
gonna
know.
name drop another person on here. But
Yeah, there is a
Yeah.
particular big streamer that's dying for
Yeah.
me to acknowledge him by name, and I shan't.
Wait,
Oh,
who
is there?
this?
One of the biggest streamers
Just
on
say
Twitch.
it. We'll believe.
Okay.
Oh, right.
He's
Yeah, same.
I have him muted on Twitter, and he'll like reply to my shit. I don't even see it, and people will send me like he fucking replied to you.
Oh,
He
wow.
wanted me on too.
Mhm.
I think I told y'all. Like he tried, and for me, I was like, "Oh, you have a quota. Like you have a
Yeah,
Negro.
he's gonna
You have a
sit-
Negro
Isn't that-
quota that you haven't hit yet." And
a Negrota, if you will.
yeah, Negrota.
He's
Exactly.
gonna see this moment right here because someone's going to send him this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares? You know me, I'm laid back.
Well-
I don't care.
I'm just like, oh, just cut this
Who
whole shit out.
cares?
You can-
Yeah, I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
No, imagine
He's never
we keep,
heard of me.
no, we just keep the footage rolling and it's just like,
Yeah.
nah, we gotta
Just
start
like
doing
what an
that.
asshole.
We gotta start doing that more so we feel
Yeah.
more free. We can just say whatever and then
We
we just
should.
bleep,
Yeah.
long bleep
We
the
should.
fucking the bits we really don't want.
Only part
you
of
know?
Yeah.
the bleep is you making that noise.
Yeah. No, it's just
we go.
we just take his voice out and copy
Wait,
paste
hold on.
it for
Hold on,
5
I want
minutes.
to open my mouth like the dude from the thing, and we go, go, and the beep comes out. In
Yo.
post.
Oh
We'll do
my
it in
God,
post.
bro.
Oh, doing
Oh
it,
my
Paz.
God, man.
Yeah.
Post Malone. Much. Much,
Yeah.
much less abrasive figure than
Yeah.
Chet Hanks.
Your ADHD like working for a segue, like in favor of a segue. It's like
Right.
speaking of
Yeah.
Post Malone. Did you see this cute clip of him talking to this kid wearing his? I literally just saw a clip of him the other day on
Oh, really?
TikTok.
No,
Last thing I saw was some guy be like, hey, fuck you, Post Malone, you're a bitch.
Like
He's
actually saying it to him.
to him, and he's like, that's rude. The sweetest, like,
You
he's
seem
like,
so.
oh, that's rude.
Whatever
He
issues
seems
there
so
might be
nice,
with
man.
Post Malone, you can't say that he's a mean guy. He is a
Yeah.
very
I don't know a single story where he was
Yeah.
mean at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
yeah.
one has a story where he was mean that I know.
yeah.
Yeah. Back when he was just Malone, though.
Yeah.
Those are dark days.
I knew him at pre
knew him in pre. Yeah.
Malone. Oh man.
I do
Yeah.
remember that clip where he was on the Breakfast Club.
They're like, why are you a
Grilling-
culture vulture?
They were grilling
Oh.
on his brain, on his cornrows, and he was
Yeah.
just like, "I just like it, you know. I just like it, and so I just do it." And they were just like, "Huh."
Yeah, not buying it.
Not that I like Breakfast Club or any of those people,
Yeah.
but just like that conversation was funny to me for sure.
He had to.
I remember
he
when it
had
came
to have
out.
expected that was going to happen. Your first big interview, someone's going to be like, "So what's this?
What's up?
Yeah.
What's going on?
What's all this then?"
Yeah,
You know.
I saw him live one time. It was alright.
I did too. I saw him in St. Louis, and it was the most young women I'd ever seen pulled out of a mosh pit, passed the fuck out from
Oh.
dehydration
Wow.
I have
Whoa.
ever seen. It was like 7, 8. A guy, I was in the back of the crowd. It was at a smaller club. This was before he was really big. It was like
Yeah.
2017, I think.
That's around when I saw him too.
And young women are being pulled out by either women or men or whoever out of like, they're being dragged out from the center of this, whatever, the crowd.
Yeah.
There's this other guy with a beer standing next to us, and he's just like, number 6. He just starts like naming.
Oh,
he starts
God.
7. This is 7. Like literally counting how many.
Wow.
Like he's fucking Gimli or something from
That's
Lord of the Rings.
fucking
like he's from, you know what I mean? He's literally counting them.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this. I was really high. I was like, this is fucking nightmarish. Like this is awful. It was at
Jeez,
Pops in St.
man.
Louis, which is like next to just a kind of a bunch of strip clubs. It's kind of in the middle of like the highway kind of
Right.
feels vibe.
Yeah.
Do you have
I saw
any-
him at Barclays. It was just,
Well, that's bigger.
he was just
That's-
he was opening for Bieber. My friend gave me a ticket, and I was like, yeah, why not?
Dude, I saw that pic of that Instagram screenshot from like 2013 of Bieber doing graffiti. Have you seen that? Have you seen that picture? Oh,
Have you seen
God.
that video of him saying just
Yes.
one lonely
yes, I
nigger?
have. Yes, I have. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Come on.
Usher saw that video and he's like, I gotta sign.
Oh, no. I wanted
You
to
were
go.
at a Justin Bieber concert.
We can bleep that part.
Yeah. I wanted to go back to St. Louis. I was gonna ask if you had any Saint Lunatics or Nelly stories, like even
No.
if it's just memories or nothing.
I mean, the Saint Lunatics were in NFL Street. I remember that. But nope. Don't have any memories.
I went to church. So basically, one of the dude, he was older. These
Oh, you might
kids
have
that
said-
I
okay.
went to church with. When he graduated high school, he went to this Christian, I guess, college somewhere in St. Louis or around there, and he was a professional bowler, and he would bowl with Nelly and the
You told
Saint
me this.
Lunatics all the time.
Oh.
And wasn't Nelly
I think he
really
was on
good
their
or
bowling
something?
team.
Or...
Yeah.
Yeah, Nelly was like a great bowler.
Yeah, and he was
Believe
on
that.
he was on their bowling team, and yeah, I want to just put that out on the web to see if there are any like bowlers that stumble into this and go,
Yeah.
oh yeah, in 2005 we were fucking,
Yeah.
Oh, there's gonna be.
no, you are, I am, no. Have you seen that clip?
Yeah.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Ah, that's a classic.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
It's
Nelly
gonna be-
doing that is
yeah,
hilarious.
Exactly.
Yo,
Yeah.
there's gonna be stories about Nelly coming out like Prince on Chappelle's show.
Right.
I can't wait for
Damn,
that
I
day.
thought you at least would have been like, oh,
Mm-mm.
we had a parade and
I
the
mean-
Saint Lunatics were wearing their masks.
I mean, it got hot in here, as you know.
uh-huh.
Mhm.
It's getting hot in here. You know, that was a
It's
big
actually
one.
very chilly.
Grills.
Mhm.
You want to see my what? Holds up, diamond in the bottom, rose gold. Isn't that what he
Yeah,
says?
yeah.
Damn.
Great
All right.
song.
Well, it was dope playing with the Saint Lunatics though in Volume 2 Street.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
like a super team.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
fucking sick.
Yeah, NFL Street was so good.
Yeah.
As
This was
How was
Street
the
Street
NBA?
Volume
This was
2.
How was the
NBA,
NBA Street then?
not NFL.
No, I think the Saint Lunatics were in NFL Street. I believe, but maybe I'm wrong.
Also, it was
I
NBA.
might be
I
mixing
don't
up the street game.
I don't know. I only played NFL once. I was an NBA street kid.
I
played-
might be mixing up my street games.
EA Sports, it's in the game.
Yeah, they was
Man.
killing it, man. Nightfire was my shit, man.
Nightfire was. It was fun.
And the Harry
Double
Potter
something.
Quidditch game.
Oh man, bro.
That shit was so fire.
So Hogwarts Legacy has Quidditch, has broom flying, but it doesn't have Quidditch. But a lot of people are making the point like that could be a whole game, and it was a whole game in and of
Yeah.
itself, like just Quidditch.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
I never played that one. I
Yeah.
just didn't-
it was pretty
But-
fire.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
Quidditch World Cup
yeah, that shit was
2003.
pretty
yeah.
cool.
You could put it was it was it was
kinda like FIFA.
nationalism, lots of
Yeah.
nationalism.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't patronize me.
Like soccer, the soccer ball game.
what's
No, I'm thinking.
P505.
I'm thinking about the meta levels of nationalism in a fictional magic children's world. Like, this is Japan's Quidditch team.
Harry, it's important you go to the Wizard Olympics to represent the strong power of the nation.
You gotta go to.
No, that's the other thing. It's like nothing is, even magic can't be more powerful than the nation state.
Yeah.
That's like literally
Even
another
the
thing
Triwizard
like
Cup.
baked into
Well, I mean,
narrative.
think about it. The house is even down to that. There's like 10 points from Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Like, what the
Right.
fuck, Harry?
Right. Yeah.
That's our house.
right. Pitting the children against each other
Yeah.
Right.
throughout the year. It's a game.
Right.
It's just for fun.
Yeah.
This is Cho
And then they can win points by like killing dangerous creatures. Also, there's like, and then the guy who's I guess Dumbledore's not in a house, but he's clearly biased to Gryffindor. I'll be like, 30,000 points times infinity. Times
like-
infinity. Doesn't matter what you do.
And how many do they need to win? Okay, minus exactly 1 from Slytherin.
Actually, I changed my mind.
Yeah.
Gryffindor. Yeah, no, Gryffindor wins. Yeah.
Gryffindor wins.
This year, I'd like to make an announcement. We're playing by golf rules. Lowest score wins.
He's a charlatan, that fucking.
I've decided I'm going to flip a coin.
Magical coin.
I don't have the energy to count this year.
Dumbledore gave groomy vibes, though. He was a little too. Well, there were too many teachers at Hogwarts that were like, "Come, Harry, I take a shining to you.
They're all up in your shit.
Come.
Yeah.
Like it was just little. It
Just
was
imagine him looking in the mirror of Erised and just seeing.
yeah.
Wait, what?
It's just Harry's butt.
wait, what?
So
What
he's
happened?
looking in the mirror of Erised, and it's just Harry's butt.
That's not funny.
You could be
Sorry,
a
I'm
very
sorry.
successful wizard,
sorry.
Mr. Bolton.
That's not funny.
adult Daniel Radcliffe's ass
Yeah.
Exactly.
from Equus.
No, but seriously,
The horse play.
I can't help but feel like there had to have been some kind of inspiration of like British boarding school relationships that teachers have with students in that, because it's always just like, you're not like the other students, Harry. You're much more mature for your age.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I went to a boarding school and everybody was a pedophile, so I feel like that's probably accurate.
Well, we can wrap that up. No,
I do. Have
I
to
mean,
go.
I
It's
went
like-
to a oh yeah, I guess we should. I went to a private, Catholic school, and teachers were like egregiously favoritist towards a lot of students, and it's like, this is creepy. Like you're
Yeah.
hanging out with the same 3-4 students every fucking day.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like,
On that note,
On that
Open
note.
Collective.
OpenCollective.com.
And I don't want to end
if you
on
like
that note.
donating right this moment, we'll go to
I don't
opencollective.com/Yavaid
want to end on that.
forum.
How
okay?
long has it been though? I think we've been going for a fucking minute.
About
Oh, really?
Okay.
Feels longer than that.
yeah.
Oh, my time is off.
Yeah, it just
Fucking-
it feels so much longer than that. Time just really stretches.
Yeah, when I'm around you guys,
it feels
it's
like so.
every
just
minute's
every
like
minute
an
is
hour.
a. Whew.
Every minute feels like a week of time.
Yeah.
The time on my laptop was wrong. That's why.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Please support. Editors, we need them. Be a woman. Be preferably not a Caucasian.
No more cockage,
No.
bro.
No cock.
No
No
cockage.
Caucasian.
Anti-cocks. Yep, that's about it. All right.
I have no words to say.
I want to think. I want to think if there's anything else.
Oh yeah, what else did we forget to say?
No,
I
because shit is. I don't know. Like a lot of shit, I feel like happened in the last day or two. Also.
Oh yeah, we missed basically
Yeah.
all of it. I mean,
Yeah.
we kind of just. I don't even know what we just talked about. To be
Yeah.
honest, it was a blur. We mentioned Qatar.
Yeah,
Mentioned
World
Qatar,
Cup stuff.
Twitter is doing a reverse endgame moment right now.
Yeah, Kanye West is.
Wait, what do you mean reverse
literally gonna
endgame?
be
What
Hitler.
happened?
Like
soon.
all the evil Avengers are popping out of the
Oh
portals
yeah,
right now.
Andrew Tate,
Oh,
Donald
that's
Trump,
right.
Kanye all
Right.
got their Twitter accounts back.
Right.
Kanye's
Folks are-
been seen with Nick Fuentes and also Miley Yiannopoulos.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
I think I did comment on that in the beginning, but just joking.
People are lobbying for Alex Jones to come back. Elon said no because of his own first son died, and people are like, he's like, yeah, I have no mercy for people who revel in the death of children or whatever the fuck. And people are just
love how select like the illogical lack of consistency.
Well, people are like, so you admit it's just your personal preference. Cool, gotcha.
That's why I said, man, who's going to be the next president? Because it might be Adolf Kanye. And that's jaded. And that's jaded.
And that's that on that.
And that's the tea from Jaded for this week.
Adolf, and then his first name.
He got rejected from
not Adolf West, Adolf Kanye.
Yeah, that's how dumb I am.
My brain is fried.
I thought that was his last. I said it like it was his last name.
No, my brain is fried. Yeah, so I get that. That Adolf West.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh man.
If I was West Side Gun right now, I'd be really like nervous because all my albums are called Hitler Wears Hermes.
Oh yeah.
And they're great albums.
They're
great albums, but boy, touchy title.
Hey, more like West Side Goebbels, if you ask me. Got him.
West Side like gunman or something, like a German name.
Like Goebbels?
Yeah, you got the best one.
You mean like Goebbels?
You got the best one.
No, I was thinking about the teachers strike too. Teachers striking.
It was this all over the country? Because
I know New York City and there was a university too that had a big one. Like thousands of faculty walked out.
Wow.
Let me see.
I did see that. I forget.
I guess it is happening in more than one place. Because I'm seeing stuff for the
sometimes that does happen
for the new school.
That's wild.
I don't think it's gonna go into a dual power situation, but people are fed up. So
yeah,
stay fed up, stay hungry, and donate.
Saying 50,000, saying 50,000 striking academic workers are asking for better pay, and walked off the job this week.
Damn.
That's fucking insane.
That's almost 51,000. That's another joke Tony does.
That's almost 50,001.
Where do we go from here, folks?
Where do we go now?
Are we withdrawing from wage slavery to get better conditions in wage slavery after? Or are we pulling out for a new system?
Find out next week.
Next week on Jaded Forum. OpenCollective.com/Jaded Forum.
Keep everything the same. Just give me a little bit more money and we're all good.
I got a TV and a PS5, bro. I think I'm good.
Why don't we can we figure out healthcare? Okay, let's start practical. There's a lot of laws we could pass.
Yeah.
No, we're joking.
Well.
All right. Bye. 1, 2, 3.